Okay, these are the notes for segments and distance. The content objective, I will be able to determine the distance between 2 points on one-dimensional 1D or two-dimensional 2D coordinate systems. So let's define first what is a line segment. This is a part of a line consisting of two endpoints, and you can see here the two endpoints, and all the points that are in between. That's the definition for a line segment. It's just part of a line. How do we name a segment? So we just use capital letters for the endpoints, and we just draw a straight line on the top without the arrows. When we put the arrows, we'll be talking about a line. Okay, construction. We're gonna use construction through the semester. So the first one is use a straight edge and a compass to duplicate segments AB through C. So we have AB. We're gonna create another segment that is exactly like AB, but that goes through C. So the first thing to do is just draw a line, and I'm gonna extend the line so I can actually pass B. Okay. So once I pass B, I need to find out what is the point that is actually have the same distance. But look, when you have the compass, then I can just place the compass at the first point A, and then open it all the way till I touch B, right there. And using the same distance, I open all the way to B. I'm going to transfer around to C, put it exactly in the middle, and then I'm going to draw a line using that compass. So the place where it's crossing or intersecting, that's going to be actually my point. I'm going to call it point D, just to keep that A, B, C, D. So now, the distance of AB is exactly like CD. Those two are congruent segments. That's the way you construct it. Now, let's talk about example number 1. Find the distance between -2 and 6 on a number line. So, between -2, I have it right here, and 6, which is right here. So how can I find out the distance? Well, there's different ways. The easy way to do is just count. Now, common mistake, students like to count the -2. You don't count that one. You need to count like, start with the -1. So that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the distance will be 8. Now, there is other ways you can actually find out the distance. And there is a formula that is called x2 minus x1, and this is the two lines stands for the absolute value, which is saying just take the difference of the two and take the absolute value. How that works? Well, if I do 6 minus -2, what is this? Negative times negative, that will be a positive, so that will be 6 plus 2, which is actually the absolute value of 8, which is the same answer. Okay, what about if I choose, instead of putting 6 minus -2, I put -2 minus 6? Well, the same thing. You put -2 minus 8, and I take the absolute value of that, so that will be, sorry, -6, not -8. The answer is going to be -8. The absolute value of -8, which at the end will be just 8. The same answer we got for this one. So you see, two different ways. This is a good formula to find the distance when it's a one dimension. So for the quick check, find the distance between -7 and 9 on the number line. So you're going to try to find that by yourself. Okay, in example 2, below you will read PQ has the length of segment PQ. So example number 2, find PQ and QR on the number line shown below. Again, you can just count them. So if I know this is actually half between 4 and -3, so this is only half of the unit. So to get from P to Q, that's going to be 1 and 1/2 or 1.5, either way you want to name it. Okay, now for B, asking you for QR, what is from here all the way to that one? So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4.5, so I can put like 4.5 or 4.5 units. Okay, for the quick check, you need to find out PR on the number line shown above. So you're going to complete the quick check, okay, for PR using the same number line right here. Okay, let's turn the page. So we're going to work now on example number 3. Example 3, you say you need to draw and label diagrams, then determine the length of the given segment. So if B is between A and C, so I'm going to have a segment, okay, and I have A on one, and I have C on another one. You say that B is between. Being between, class, doesn't mean it's exactly in the middle. It can be any part between A and C. I'm going to call it B. So B is between A and C. And AB, which is this segment right here, is 4. So the length from here to here is 4. And BC is 5. So the question is, then what is going to be AC, which is the total thing? Well, if I know AB is 4, BC is 5, together there's going to be 9. Okay, I just need to add those two segments to find out what is the entire segment. For the quick check, if B is between A and C and AC is 24 and AB is equal to 7, then you need to find out what is BC. Again, B is going to be in between, so it's a similar picture to this one. Let me do example number 4 so you can complete the quick check by yourself. If AB is equal to X, BC is equal to 2X plus 6, and AC is equal to 5X minus 14, then AB is equal to, and BC is equal to. So again, for example number 4, we need to label our problem. So I'm pretty sure with the following: A, B, C. B is between C and A. Now we're telling us that AB is X, so AB is X. BC, which is telling me right here, is 2X plus 6. I don't know exactly what it is. They are giving me out the algebraic property. Now in AC, which is the whole thing, that's going to be 5X minus 14. So using algebra, I know that the sum of those two is going to be equal to the entire segment. So I could actually put like X and 2X is going to be 3X plus 6, because I don't have any constant in this one, but I have a 6 here. That should be equal to the entire segment, which is 5X minus 14. Now I have an equation that I can actually solve. So I'll subtract 3X from both sides. That's going to give me like 6 is equal to 2X minus 14. What's the next step? Well, just add 14 to both sides again. So 6 and 14, that's going to give me 20, which is equal to 2X. So when I divide by 2 both sides, X will be equals to 10. Okay, and this will be my answer for the X. Now, they're asking me to find out what is AB and BC. Now, what is X? Well, AB is X. I know then that one's going to be 10. But then BC, what is BC? Well, if I put the 2 here, 2 times 10 is 20 plus 6, that will be 26. Okay, just plug in the value of 10 in each one of those. So this is example number 4. You're going to try the quick check, find LM if L is between N and M, and they give you also the algebraic values, okay? So very similar to the previous one. Try to follow the example. Now, what is the distance formula? Well, when you're talking about the distance formula in 2 dimensions, I already give you the one for 1 dimension. Remember, for the 1 dimension, it's just the absolute value of x2 minus x1, okay? That will be the distance for 1 dimension. When you have 2 dimensions, the distance is the square root of x2 minus x1. You're going to square that, and then you're going to add the y2 minus y1. In other words, you take the difference of the x values, take the difference of the y values, you add them, and then take out the square root. So find the distance between the point 2 comma negative 1 and negative 2 comma negative 1. I can label these points. It's going to be x1, y1, and x2, y2. It's going to be point 1, this is going to be point 2. So how can I plug it in on that equation? Or how can I do it like in a quick, easy way? So it's tell me about the difference of the axis. So this is the x1, this is the x2. So it will be negative 2 minus from the formula. But what is the x1? Well, the x1 is just 2. So negative 2 and negative 2, that's negative 4. According to the formula, I need to square. So what is the square of negative 4? And that's a 16. Now, I said all the way to the formula, I need to add it, okay? Always you're going to add it with the values of the y. I also need to take out the difference of the y. So y2. What is the y2? That's a negative 1. What is the minus? What is the y1? y1 is also negative 1. So actually, here with the negative is going to be positive. Remember, this negative comes from the formula, and I'm subtracting negative 1 also, which is my y1. So negative 1 minus negative 1, this becomes positive. So negative 1 plus 1 is actually 0. So I need to add 16 to 0. What's the square root of 16? What is 16 plus 0? That will be 16. And at the end, I need to use the square root. So the square root of all that, coming from the formula, that will tell me the answer is 4. So it's actually 4 units, okay? So you need to find the distance between those 2 given points. That will be your quick check. I hope this is easy for you to do. We're going to do more practice about the distance formula and how to do it when they give you 2 points. Remember, the first formula for the 1 dimension, this is for 2 dimensions. Bring questions to class. Thank you for listening.